Cheers. I wanted to bring a big glass of water for the sake of it. For the sake of it, I'm happy I didn't start the round exactly the same time. It's so boring waiting for the round to start. So I'm happy I'm late. Was enjoying a light snack, but I have to start. Most often when you see the countdown happening, I'm either making coffee or eating. So sometimes I see the time at 30 seconds and I'm like, oh no, I have to put all this food in my mouth. There's still some stuck in my mouth. My goodness. Anyways, welcome to round 4 of the Olympiad, Ghana's POE. Starting with Hephzibah. She did it again. Just give her a pep talk. But it's fine. I mean, it's fine. Here, what is the issue with this? What is the issue with this time? The issue with e2 this time, bishop to e2 this time, is that you give your opponent this chance to make a mess of your position. That's the problem of studying openings as a system rather than studying basically the positions of the opening. If you just study that system, that's, oh, I'm trying to get this system or this position on the board, what that means is that you're going to ignore everything. And that's sometimes the mistake people get into when they are learning the landing system. It's a system so you can play it against anything. That's a wrong kind of way to go through it. Yeah, there are certain things you can do that gives you like sort of like a good position. And here playing this move is a nice way. Again, I think her problem is possibly this. In the previous game, I thought it was g6. But for her to play this game as well, I think she's afraid of the pin. I think that's her fear. Which is why, if you are afraid of the pin, you normally wait for your opponent to play this move. You have that time. So you can go bishop here. B6 here. Eventually, if your opponent plays e6, then you have this move. If not, your opponent is going to have to develop their bishop here. In which case, if you play this and your opponent comes back, it's a wasted move, right? Stop still in my mouth. That is basically the point I'm trying to make. So now I think I understand why she does that. It's not the best, but we're expecting this again. And then with c4. Okay. Give me a second. Okay. I hope you can hear me. I hope everything's going on well with the stream. Oh boy. So, waiting to see what's going to happen. Again, she's playing her opening like a system. But she should learn to get used to playing the bishop here. It will change her life. Like, I used to play. I really do love this opening. I really do love this opening. There are many reasons why you'd want to put the bishop here, but I mean, I always when I see it, I always feel like it's just too passive. Let's look at the other games. We can expect what she's going to play. If she meets an opponent who really understands this opening and how to counteract it, for example, not playing c5 is suboptimal. Again, it doesn't mean it's bad. I have to kind of like explain my terminologies. It doesn't mean it's bad. Like, it's 100% playable. Engine supports it. It's okay. It's personal biases again. But yeah. So if she meets an opponent who actually understands the opening and she's not well prepared, trust me, they will easily dismantle this whole thing. This whole thing will be easily dismantled. I realize she's playing like a system, and I don't know. I don't know much about her. I don't know anything about training regimens, so on and so forth. But yeah, it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. Let's go. Today, Gertrude is sitting it out. I think. Is it Gertrude? Or yeah, Gertrude is the one sitting it out, right? Yeah, Gertrude is sitting out this round. Let's look at Maud Benson. E4, D6, D4. Oh yeah, it's Maud too, of course. Piet. G6 line again. C6, B5. She had a very good game the last time she played like this. Okay. Queen takes, and then what? Playing this on the white side, this whole idea makes sense to me because for a London system player, you're going to aim for like h4, h5. It's a more, the way I played, it's a more like slow developing plan, h4, h5. If your opponent doesn't capture with a knight, what you're aiming for is takes, and then eventually you come in here with queen check, and this is checkmate, right? So it's a more slow developing plan for me. So I would play this, but I wouldn't capture immediately. I think that's what White was also going for. But yeah, you can still castle queenside and then go g4, h4, g5, h5, and really hamper on your opponent here. I don't know how safe this king is going to be, but the game was going to have to develop. Yeah. Which I was thinking maybe should castle first. Like after this, castles, takes. Again, that same plan I'm talking about works. The whole idea with the h4, h5. I mean, she has more experience than me in this. I personally don't play this with g6, but she has more experience, so she might understand what she's doing. And also, yeah, from what I learned, sometimes you are comfortable without castling in this kind of structure. Sometimes you're just comfortable not castling. Again, but it remains to be seen. I think she's going to castle queenside and go g4, g4, h4, g5, h5. I think that's what we're going to see, unless of course there's a way to sack this guy. Castling queenside is going to be a problem. This king is going to stay in the center. This king is definitely going to stay in the center. That's for sure. This king is definitely going to stay in the center. Definitely. Toby, my London system sister. Yeah, that is it. That is what we call a No. Again, guys, it is bias. Okay, it is just me playing a bias. What is my bias here? When you want, when you see, how do we get drawn chess games? Based on the kind of structure that we get in the game, right? So you want to normally go for imbalances. Like if a game seems too evenish, you want to go for the imbalances, and the imbalances are what helps you to get winning chances, right? And one of the ways to create imbalances is to create an imbalance of pawns on sides of the board, right? So maybe I have more pawns on the king side than my opponent, or I have less pawns. Like just creating that kind of pawn imbalance is one of those ways. So when you look at just the pawns, ignore the pieces on the board. When you look at the pawns, if for example it goes takes, you realize what do we have? 5 on 5, 2 on 2. That kind of thing creates drawing possibilities in an endgame. So mostly what people would recommend, again, this is not bad, but what mostly people recommend is you go e3. And the reason is, again, now if you take, you realize that we have a 4 on 3 and a 3 on 4 over here. This is an imbalance, and it can help drive a winning position. You get the point, right? So again, that's my personal bias. Not to say that this is wrong. So when I look at this, I'm like, we are getting drawing opportunities in this game. Imbalance the game, reduce the likeliness of a draw. You know, so sometimes when I'm looking at my openings, I'm looking for ways to make the game not so drawish and not so simple. Which is another reason why sometimes if I was playing the London system and let's say knight here, okay, let's say bishop here, I'll go this way, knight here. I am very much okay with this. This makes you lose your winning chances as white sometimes, but I just love this imbalance and the strength I get in the center. I like these type of things. They ensure that the game is not so drawish, you know. I ranted on just one move. That whole rant was on one move. Don't worry to be in the recap. I'll make sure to put this point in the recap if you guys did like it. Knight c6, e3, queen comes in, and this is actually a bad position for white. You've seen me play the London system. I've told you that whoever has to capture the queens is losing, and of course this is coming in. And you're going to play queen takes, queen takes. This is the worst position for white. And if you've been watching my streams, you notice that I win most of my games where this happens, right? It's a very straightforward plan. Very straightforward. You are going to crash in on the queen side. Very few games have I drawn, and even fewer games have I lost when I get this advantage. So you always have to be careful. These are you have to learn these, right? Her opponent knows the opening. This is how you play it as black. Okay, this is how you want to play against the London system as black. I think this is the best way. People bring up other ways, but I personally think this is the best way. And now you create this whole structure. Queen comes in. If we turn on the engine, white has lost all his advantage, and now black is pushing for the advantage. She goes this way. Personally, I go g6. Again, it could be slow, but it's also fine, right? She decides not to trade, but this is still bad. So if we turn on the engine is going to give black a better standing here. Okay, it says equal right now, which is, I mean, you've reached equality as black. That is what you are aiming for. And once black gets equality, black can now take the initiative. So this is a good standing for black. And after, yeah, e5 maybe is a little bit slow here. E5 is quite slow here. But well, that's fine. It's still fine. It's still fine. Yeah, but that's how you play against the London system. Again, if you want to see a lot of these things, when you check my streams, I played you normally see these kinds of positions in my games, so you can just study them and then know what I'm talking about. There are myriad of ideas that you can go for. I personally like to go for 1 or 2 ideas. There are some fun ideas that I do have. Yeah, I'm talking about myself, and I'm selling so much of my information. I'm worried about those who watch the VODs and are like, they're going to play against me in a over the board tournament because like, oh, I know what he's gonna do. Yeah, right. This is general information, so it's not any big deal. If you watch the YouTubers I watch as well, you know majority of the lines I play. I'm selling all the information right now, so if you lose against me, know that it's your own fault. Oh goodness. So e5. I actually don't get the point of e5. Are you trying to sacrifice and play pawn push? Does that even make any sense? No, I don't think it does. Anyways, it's up to us to see what happens here. So yeah, Hephzibah's game and Toby's game, Mod's game too. I kind of understand the structures here. Gijo plays a bit like is it Clinton? Gijo plays. I don't know. I think was it Hasford or Philip who trained Gijo? Somebody trained Gijo. I don't remember who trained Gijo. But I like how. Okay, no, she's playing as black. So we have d4, d5, knight f6, e3, bishop g4, h3, or she self-taught it could be. Bishop takes f3, queen takes f3, e6. Okay. Bishop to e7, knight d2, castles kingside, bishop to d3, c5. Okay, this is the way you want to go. Very fine. Similar to Toby's position in a sense. But again, it's like a collie where this bishop is bad for some time. She can also transpose into the collie Zukatot, but not so good here because of this pawn. So now playing b6 allows this move, and that's not what you want. And we have g4. Perfectly playable. Perfectly playable. Again, I think she's playing a collie type structure here, so perfectly playable. This is one of the lines I think I saw in the Judith Poga course. It's a very old course. I think it was recorded in like the 2000s or something. It's an old video I had on my laptop before my laptop hard drive got crashed. But these are perfectly playable ideas. But depends on your understanding, depends on the skill of your opponent, because it's very risky, right? It's very risky. With c5 here, if ever you castle queenside, you are having problems. So like with Clinton's game yesterday, I said if he could weather the storm, he would win. And he weathered the storm, converted, and he won. In the same vein here, if you're able to weather the storm, you win because your opponent is really not having much. Your opponent is really not having much. Let me listen to my... Okay, so my audio is fine. Okay. um have we looked at all the games in the female section? Yeah, this is just the opening, so we are just quickly brushing through the opening again. Because Hephzibah is playing, I will try to focus on Hephzibah's game. I'm interested in seeing how she does. So many of these Catalans, my goodness. Okay, I have to say the Catalan for the next what do you call it, maybe during the rest day I'll look at the Catalan. Knight c3, castles kingside, a6, e6. Like, someone has to really explain this to me. I mean, apart from these moves I've mentioned before, I don't really understand a3. Hasford is playing as back. Sorry, mixed up there. And that's it. We get e4, like King's Indian defense. Now with this, no, you don't want to do that. Again, Catalan lines are crazy for me. If it's King's Indian, like with e4, I know there's e5. I know with e5, I know there's d4. Then the knight jumps in here, pawn push, knight. I know those like maneuvers, but with Catalan territory, I mean, with the bishop here, I have no idea. Aquanda. Oh, we have a sort of Maroxy bind. E4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, bishop c4, d6, h3, bishop to e7, d4. Okay, e takes d4, knight takes d4, knight f6, knight c3, castles kingside, rook e8. Okay, rook e1, maybe bishop develops. I don't know if ever the knight is going to come in here. If you would trade yourself, give your opponent some kind of strength in the center. Plausible. Maybe bishop comes in here, so that takes here, but then you have d5, c5. But c5 may not be good because you create a hole on this square. So maybe. 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 Bernard. Wait, which country is this? Nicaragua. Okay. Another queenside assault from Bernard. Bernard is black. Okay, sorry. Okay. Okay, we have a modern. Rook b1, a5. A5, not a6. Interesting. Knight e1. F4 doesn't make any sense. What's the point of knight e1? Yeah, there's some kind of idea with this. Getting the 90. I really. Oh, goodness. Knight e1. And let's look at the final game. Then we'll go back to Hephzibah's game. As these games begin to take shape, I'll know what's going on. Opening wise, I don't want to guess wrongly. And d4, knight f6, knight f3, d5, g3, c5, bishop to g2, c takes, knight takes. Oh, you can. Okay. h6, b3, knight c6, knight takes d4. Finally, we have e5. Takes 6, and this looks like a Grunfeld for black. You know the structure. C4. Bishop to e6. Bishop comes in. If takes, you open yourself up to this. I think is the point. And now you lose castling. Unless, of course, you bring your knight back, which could cause problems. I don't know. I think this guy will be hanging in that line. If the bishop moves, then you are losing this. I think that it creates some kind of subtle pressure for you. So c4 and then bishop to b2, and that's the position we are in now. This is the current position. So with that out of the way, let's focus on my dear friend here, Hephzibah. Wait, is this Hephzibah? No, this is the Hephzibah. Okay, so what did we get? E6, Okay, so now what you have to be careful of is e5. Your opponent's main idea is to go e5. You have to stop it. If anything at all, you want to get e5 for yourself, right? So a very simple move here, after queen c7. Again, the aim is this. Okay, actually now you can't really do that. You can't. I was talking about, I was going to say this: if bishop goes back, you can go this way and try and hold it, but that's actually bad now because of this bishop staring you down. e4 doesn't work, and because you're not challenging this bishop, it's just going to be a little bit difficult. So here you can just try c4. c4 is also a common idea in the c4 is also a common idea in the quality look at what c4. If takes, again, I'm assuming this because of imbalances. This is also fine, but takes, and also to keep the file closed, you could do that. But then you have to ask yourself, if I allow, so queen c7, if I play this, is e5 possible? e5 is very possible. But here it says e5 is not good because you play c5 first. Ah, I get it. They're a very nice intermezzo. Because if you take, or if you play pawn push, I can just take, right? I guess that's the case. Okay. So here we are. Queen c7 is the move. So c4, if you want to take it a little bit slow, you play rook c1. But I think with what the engine is saying, then the resource of c5 is very good. It's so good that you can't ignore it. So maybe c4 might be the only good move here. But then again, I don't know how you prevent this whole idea. This move does not work. I was looking at it because, like, for example, if your opponent tries to go pawn push, you just take, you know. Yeah. Maybe going e5 now with your king in the center may not be a good idea for white. So castles, then rook before pawn push might be a way. So c4. So far she hasn't played the c4 idea, so I'm not so sure she knows the c4 idea. And I say so far like I've watched 15 of her games. It's only yesterday I saw her play. But c4 is a plan. Again, another problem. I'm just going to emphasize this again. If the bishop is here, it makes it easier for your rook to support any e4, e5 push you want to. Like, when you look at all these things, it makes you look like, yeah, there's no reason you should play this. But then again, in the Jubava landing, it's a much better thing to put the bishop here than here. Oh, the intricacies of this game called chess. Here, you might have to ask yourself what happens here. You can take with a knight to disturb this bishop. You can also take here because of this pawn structure. Either way, it is up to you. She plays g3. That's not the problem. I mean, it's fine, but I think it misses the point. It's more of a prophylactic move. I don't want to make a mistake in which I forget that this pawn is on the is not defended adequately. Move my knight, and like the line I was mentioning here, which is like this. You allow this, right? So I don't want to forget that whole idea. So I'll play this first. That's kind of, I think, the mindset behind it. But right now she's receiving all the pressure. She's not giving any pressure, right? So you can expect a move like e5. Let's see if the engine agrees with me. After g3, you can expect a move like e5 now. Not yet. It says h5, which also makes perfect sense. Going to attack the structure. There's so much pressure coming down on you, right? I was really hoping e5 is a move, but again, I think it's because of the king's position. And with how she has done this g6 move, castling queenside could even be a possibility, and then just raining down pressure on your opponent. Right? So yeah. Her opponent might not even castle and just go the h5 move, but I'm still thinking about e5. Again, it's sort of like a singular mindset, but again, I don't like it solely because of the king. But I think now she has the opportunity of going knight to h4. Really wondering like what her opponent is going to do. I think it's very obvious to go for a kingside assault. These days, I've been researching ideas of just sacrificing this pawn. That way, like for example, if takes, I have this. It's something I've been looking at recently, how plausible it is. So sometimes even if it's bad, I've come to learn that fine, some moves can be considered bad, but when you look at the potential of the move, so sometimes you look at these strong players' games and you realize that they are making bad moves. But the point is, when you look at what the move causes on the board, with an engine, you can clearly say, oh, this is bad. But when you don't understand what the pressure in the position is, you might miss like the idea behind it. And the pressure created from sacrificing this could be a problem. Like let's just go back again. I don't think this works. Like takes. That's if we are just trading, right? It creates potential issues for you, right? And that's what I'm like sort of trying to research with these type of sacrifices, you know. So yeah. And you could even see the whole thing that happened with Clinton's game. Of course, that was a missed tactic, but these are the things I'm looking at. So I'm not trying to play objectively the good moves. I'm playing the moves with the most potential. That sometimes can give my opponent a difficult time. Again, playing the objectively good moves are great, but sometimes these nuanced type moves may serve you well. Not always, but they may serve you well. Hey, what's up, Tracy? How you doing? Welcome to the stream. So yeah, I'm looking at these nuanced ideas because they look to be good. They look to be good. Okay, again, your opponent doesn't have to take, and that's also what I'm banking on, right? If the opponent does not take and decides to do something else, let's say I'm white and now I decide to go here, maybe I can now start putting the pressure on you with this move, you know? And you have like issues, you know? So like, yeah, maybe not, who knows? I mean, if here saying you're attacking the, I can just go back and you'll be like, wait, I thought you were trying to open this up. No, now you can open it up for me. Let's just say I castle queenside. What does my opponent do? If my opponent takes, these are the kinds of things I'm talking about. Again, I'm allowing my opponent to make the mistakes as white here. Like I'm letting white make the mistakes, but you get what I'm trying to point out. I'm just trying to point out these type of things. Anyway, G3. It feels so misplaced. But she might be able to do well. Thank you. Hey, you're welcome. Welcome. So yeah, it's I'm interested in seeing what is going on. I don't expect any of those moves I recommended to come up. Again, I'm still looking at e5. I'm still looking at castles, queenside. She jumps into the center with knight to e4. Okay, that's also another nice one. Putting pressure here, which is even further making this move look a little bit beautiful. Or even h4, h5 is even looking nicer. But of course, your opponent might just take. But if knight takes, I think you want to go bishop takes because of the weak light squares that your opponent has created. I think that's what you want to go for here. So knight e4 is good. I wasn't really looking at knight e4 instantly because of the captures here. I was thinking about maybe trying to offset white's position before playing this move. I was even thinking about maybe you just put the bishop here and see if your opponent would take, which maybe he will not. But yeah, this is all fine. This is all fine. So knight e4. And what do we do here? I mean, if takes and your opponent takes with the pawn, I don't really like that position for white. It may just be fine, but it just seems to cramp your position up. So it's this move will not work. I'm trying to look at this, but then here it makes me worry a bit. This move makes me worry a bit. My internet is lagging a bit, which is why the moves are not coming in. Okay, but then here you can go takes, and then if takes, you just take with your bishop, and the position is held. So maybe it's a fine move. Maybe it's fine. Maybe it's fine. So let's go back to knight e4. Okay, she plays knight takes e4. Interesting. She goes straight for it. I mean, the knight on that outpost is very strong, or the knight on that square is very strong. So it makes sense to want to trade it off. Now the question is, what does your opponent take with? I'm advocating for this move because you kind of immediately take advantage here. But pawn takes is not bad because you have ideas of bishop coming into h3 and attacking your opponent's weakness. So it remains to be seen. Knight takes e4. Bishop takes knight here. Her opponent's reluctance to castle is making me a little bit worried. Like, are we really going to get this whole idea? There's always pressure here. h4, h5, h5, h4. Sorry, is always in the air. Like, what exactly are we going to? Engine prefers taking with the pawn. I'm still trying to figure out why e5 is still not. Is it still because of the king being in the center? I'm just wondering why e5 is not viable. I'm learning as I'm commenting. So knight takes. You want to go knight d2? Then what's your plan? Do we then begin this whole h5 idea? h5, let's say our opponent wants to stop it with h4. I mean, you can take. But does this make any difference? Let's see, here. Does it make any kind of difference? I'm trying to find some way to attack this side, right? Because now if you do this move is not possible, right? You might think that it's trap, but then you have this now. So I'm trying to figure out ways of getting this to work. So if your opponent does take with the bishop, maybe it causes more harm than good. After h5, d takes. Okay, so we have d takes. We're going to get knight here. Knight here, you could play, but again, the problem with this move is it doesn't. Your opponent hasn't said he's going to castle like kingside, so it could always come with this, trying to force a reaction from you. If you come in here, your knight is really running out of squares. So after takes, this is, I don't think this is something that white wants to see, because f4 is a problem. And I think this position is quite good for, says white is winning. Okay, positional chess. All the positional chess gurus, help me out here. I don't see the, oh, okay, wait. Okay, the only problem I see so far is pawn push. Only problem I see so far. I could be wrong. Yes, I'm correct. And what happens if we go in this way? D takes C, pawn takes C, and now is the point that the king is just stuck in the center? I don't know. It looks scary. Oh, because even if now let's just say you play this, if you castle, you're getting hit with so much. Oh, okay. There's so much kinetic energy coming after you. Okay, so I'm kind of underestimating white's potential here, and I'm going for crazy attacks, but it might not work. The counter attack seems to be very strong. So knight d2 might be the way. Knight d2 might be the way. Let's go to mod's game. Let's see what happened after queen takes, knight b to d7. Her opponent made this exact same idea. Like, don't be too convinced. Okay, you have this instant move, but I don't think it works now. So maybe you want to develop first bishop, try and develop your knight somewhere, get the rook here before you try and open things up. Yes, this guy is doing quite well, but I don't know. After knight jumps in here, are we okay? Or is that just a slow move helping the opponent? Instantly goes for b4. Fine. So the discussion we had the last time, especially during the recap, was who begins the attack first. Whoever begins the attack first usually has the better position. And most people seem to underestimate the quickness or how quick black's attack can easily like spring up. Granted, the bishop doesn't exist to cause problems, so it's not going to be a straightforward attack, but yeah. e5 immediately. Okay, takes the pawn holds, right? Takes the pawn holds, and the knight can come in here. Again, I'm not so convinced about this move. And how does the engine evaluate its position? Good for white, obviously. So here it says just ignore from this point. The reason I wanted to take and let my opponent take back is so that the pawn is preventing the rook, but it seems to like this one. But then and this is the move. I don't know how obvious these moves are, but these are just crazy moves for me. Okay. So we have e5 and then e6. Wait, what happened? Wait, I missed the move. Knight. Oh boy. Okay, I'm trying to, you know. So after e5, knight d5. Okay, she plays knight d5. After her opponent takes, then the engine's best move is to go this way, which I was saying that I don't think anybody sees. I don't think mod sees. Then she plays e6. But this is a problem. This is a problem. Your king is really lacking air. All your dark squares are in trouble. Fortunately, your opponent doesn't have a dark squared bishop, but this is not looking as okay as it used to be. So what's black play here? Are we going queen d6 with queen to a6? Or maybe queen to d6, b6 first, and then just trying this. Again, I'll be taking more like much frequent breaks this stream. I got back home around like 10:30. I recorded, edited, and posted a video. Slept around like 12 a.m. And I was woken up. I did not wake up. I was woken up because of IRL stuff. And yeah, I don't know. I'm not as energetic or as peppy as can be. So I'll be taking like quite a number of breaks this time. But don't worry, I'll try and stream for longer duration, a long duration before a break. So don't think it's going to be like every 10 minutes I take a 5-minute break. No, that's going to be. Sorry. My landing system friend, Toby. Wait, this is Jijo. Let me go to Toby. No, where? Okay, so takes bishop to f. Oh, of course, if queen takes, then you have problems on the back rank. So you can play. No, this doesn't work. Yeah, you can play this. But now when you look at white's pieces, it's like white is really suffering. Right? Queen to c1, queen to d2. Queen here doesn't work. Oh, this is okay. This is not easy. Does she actually play queen to c1? She does play queen to c1. g5. Wow, this opponent is aggressive. You know, we were talking about this recently. I was talking about looking at these types of ideas where you open things up. I mean, this is basically what I'm talking about. It may not look wise, but it's threatening. Again, it could. I'm not so much behind it now, but again, I like the fact that the themes I'm talking about are being expressed in the games that we are looking at, and that's what I'm happy to see in these games. And again, if you don't take, the pressure continues. If you want to save your bishop now, you have to move your pawn or play h3, which allows more pressure to come towards your position, which is this is what I'm talking about, right? Your opponent can play bishop here. I mean, it's so much is going on. So much is going on. Yeah. It's now a big question. Do you want to play this or do you want to play this? The problem with playing, for example, this is that this happens, and it's possible your whole idea has been stuffed. But maybe we have something like bishop to e7. Knight jumps in. Cool, Angle is working, okay? You're back. Wow. Is that Mickey Mouse?
Yes.
Wow. I love your bag. Why do you like pink?
Yes.
Like pink? Pink is your favorite color?
Yes.
Okay.
Blue is Yoko's favorite color.
Blue is Yoko's favorite color?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So when I'm done, I'll come and play with you, okay?
Hey.
Bye-bye. Okay, so h3. Wait. Okay, h3 was what was played. Okay, so h3, then we have bishop to g7. So I mentioned this move, putting pressure on this guy. F cannot be played. It's not looking so good for Toby. And this is a very scary thing, right? This is a very scary thing. How that one miss can cause you to lose like so much advantage and so much initiative. Like the moment I saw this, I'm like, okay, black is having a decent position. Granted, and usually you might just want to trade off, right? Takes, and you can try there, but this usually isn't. But now I've learned something. I have learned something. For me, if this was what happened, I would have played g6. G6 is a completely fine move, but now I'm looking at ideas of this here. But what makes it so different? Why don't you just play it now? What's the difference? Why don't you just play this now? And after queen takes, then you take. What's wrong with this move? Let's see. Queen takes d5. Okay, so the point of... Let's go back. The point of this... Wow! The point of sacrificing the pawn is so that if you play bishop here and your opponent takes, this is not available to them anymore. Wow! I mean, some people know this. I did not. Oh, that is so big brain. That is so big brain. And now we can go takes with no consequences. Oh, I'm using this. Guys, I'm using this. I know it's a bad move. So, okay, what I have to research now is if my opponent does not take with the pawn and instead takes with the bishop. Isn't it the exact same position? Let's see. Bishop to f5. Queen takes. Queen takes b2. It's even worse considering what the engine is saying. And then what does our opponent play here? Knight f3. Okay, I mean, I have studies. I have work. I have work to do. I personally like to play this move first. E5 is actually considered best here. Interesting. I usually like to play this, but I think now I'm realizing that this is a little bit slow. Interesting. Okay, let's get back to the actual position. So bishop to g2. Toby has a lot of work on her hands. But I think she can do it. I don't think it's completely over. Mind you, like, there's so much coming at Toby right now. But this king is very vulnerable. This king is, like, quite vulnerable. Anything could happen. If Toby could find a way to, I don't know, sacrifice material and open things up in the center, she might have a way to counterattack. So the question is looking at unorthodox moves, which the engine may not like, but then gives you a chance, like the way I didn't like this e5 move, or the way sometimes you think about this move. And yeah, you can definitely do something. I think that's the secret to Magnesh. Give me a second. I'm looking too dark again. Okay. A little bit light. Bought my hand. Have mercy. Okay. And we continue. Okay, back to the main section. My guy Clinton isn't playing. So sadly, we can't check his games. Okay. Frimpong Smart, who won a very long game yesterday. Let's see his position. Okay, so we left it here. Bishop to b2. Queen comes into c7. Takes. Knight to c3. Rook to d8. Rook to c1. Queen to b8. Queen d3. d4. And the question has been posed. I'm liking the activity sort of that white has. But what's the problem, for example, if I try and offer a trade of knights, sorry? Is this a problem? How do you deal with these central pawns? I think that's the biggest issue for the position right now. Oh, wait, that's not what's play. D4, sorry. Trying to find. Well, if I was, for some reason I was thinking that, oh, knight goes here then comes in here, you know, that would have been so nice, but that doesn't work. But why is it like people are not castling in today's game so far? Like, why? Do we play this first? Then if our opponent jumps in to defend, then we go in this way. This is just me being complex. I don't know. Not so sure about that line. Why is the board not flowing today? So D4. It says Frimpong's match, we have a winning position here. I still can't figure out the move here after D4. D4, knight B5. I did not see the point of this move. I looked at it and I was like, what does this do? Is it just about the rook coming in here? Because it doesn't make any sense. Bishop to D6. Knight takes D6, check, rook takes. Again, what's the point? Bishop to A3. These are all the engine lines. Castles. Castles, it's not even recommended that you take the exchange up, though that's also a good move. Actually, all the moves are good. Taking, plain E3, rook FD8, rook FD1. These are all moves. But what am I missing? Is there something I'm not seeing? No, material is equal. So, I mean, knight to B5 is definitely a move that Bernard would see. Bishop to C6, which I mentioned, is okay, but it loses all this 2.5 advantage. It's a playable move, but knight B5 is supposedly an only move according to the Lee chess engine. It's an only move that White has to find. If not, the other move I mentioned, bishop to C6, sorry, is a reasonable continuation. And then there's another move, queen to B5, trading of the queens. Okay, your opponent does not have to trade, but I think trading prevents your opponent from castling or something of that sort. Let's go to Bernard. Engine messes me up. Bernard and where? One of the things that has been annoying me about this whole Olympiad is that at the end of the round, or at the end of the round, they upload the photos to the Olympiad page, and usually the pictures, the total number of pictures they take are from like 300 to 350, I think, within that range. And I scroll through all 300 pictures, Unless, of course, maybe I don't see it, but I've scrolled through all 300 pictures. That's about 1,000 pictures. If you look at round 1, round 2, round 3, I looked at all the pictures and I didn't see a single Ghanaian. Not even in the background. And it pisses me off so much. It pisses me off so much. I just wish there was a Ghanaian picture. Maybe I didn't see it. If I didn't see it and you see it, let me know. But I literally cannot find a single Ghanaian picture, which is annoying. Okay, so where do we leave this game at? A5, okay. I feel like sneezing, but the sneeze is not coming. Okay, good. So after knight back, we have e6. Where can I see the pictures? Go to the official FIDE Olympiad chess page. Muloma. I always just type in my I don't have the link here, but you go to you can just type chess Olympiad 2024 photos and you get a link that will lead you to the official Olympiad chess page. There's an option menu at the top right. When you click it, you see the photos option there. Yeah. So e6, controlling the center sort of. Now you can decide whether you want to continue this way or not. Bishop taking here would not be a good idea because you prevent your knight from taking spaces. Takes. Here is guarded, so you don't want to do that. E6 is an okay move. I don't know if he's going to play something like this here and then put the bishop in to challenge it. But yeah, maybe there was something about knight coming in here that he doesn't like. Because in that case, you could have just gone like this way and gone from there. E6, bishop to G5. H6, bishop goes back. I'm tempted to play E5 here. He does play E5. Bishop goes back. I mean, that's how many moves with the singular piece. It could be fine, but goes here, gets hit with this, go here, get hit with this, go here. You could say that he's controlling the game the way he wants, because the point is this pawn over here was preventing the knight from jumping in here. So by forcing this pawn push, you could claim that he has given himself access to the square once again. You could claim that. But now we have bishop to G4. So my mindset about this does not actually work. Then again, I think it's okay here. So here, if B4 comes in, it's okay now. Maybe if we get something like knight to A2, then we'll have to think about what happens after B4. Maybe. I mean, for the pictures, the most common African countries I think I've seen is Ethiopia. Let's say Ghanaian countries, African countries. Ethiopia, South Africa, Egypt. Is it Algeria? Azerbaijan? Those are the countries I think I've seen. But the top boards are always there. Makes sense. I have no qualms. My issue is this. If there are 190 boards, and I'm not saying take a picture of every single or every individual player, but if you're just taking pictures of boards, right? Just the boards. Take a picture of these people and then their opponent. These people and then their opponent. That's about how many boards in total. Let's say 150 countries in both sides. That's 300. That's 600 photos. I should have seen Ghana by now. That's my point, right? That's my point, right? Because we are about 1,000 pictures deep, and I don't see Ghana. So that's my point. If you just take a picture of this side of the board, this side of the board, and let's see that there are 300 boards, I could be wrong, but there are 300 boards by now. Even if there are 1,000 boards by now, I should have seen Ghana. You know, that's my qualm. That is my qualm. Yoku, Uncle is working. Okay. I was wondering about the knight coming in here. So is he eventually? No, he's not going to push now. I don't think he's going to push now. I don't think he's gonna. I'm trying to figure out what the knight is coming here for. Maybe bishop goes back, knight jumps in here. That way, if the knight tries to come in here, takes, then you just capture back with the knight. Because this knight, I think, or your knight would be. What's happening with the board? Why is the board lagging? Something opened. Like my boards and stuff keep lagging. I don't understand what's going on. Give me a second. It takes a while for any action I take to show on the board. Give me a second. Let me close some of my background apps and see if that will solve anything. Steam, you gotta go. Steam, you gotta go. Yes, but your mommy has come for him. Getting a knight there himself, I wasn't actually even looking at that. Yes, but it's very possible. The knight can actually come there. Give me a sec. I'm trying to close more apps. Oh boy. Should I take off Discord? Let's take off Discord. Okay, I hope this will work. Okay. Okay. Let's see if it's fine. Yeah, all this while I wasn't expecting knight. I wasn't even calculating knight coming in there. But then what does that do for us? I mean, if your opponent takes either ways, right? You just, I mean, you continue to make this bishop bad. But that might be it. Are you eventually just going to play ace b6 and just see that, okay, your bishop here is staring at granite, like it's not doing anything. It's staring into a vacuum. You could argue that. But then again, I think, I don't know, black's position looks nice. Yeah, so I was kind of right there. Bishop going back to play pawn push or to develop the knights. But that knight has been traded off, so that not really the exact same thing. We have b5. No time wasted. Wait, I've missed some moves, right? Oh, that was my analysis. Okay, so instead of doing anything with the knight, he went b4. We looked at b4 briefly and then we're like, it doesn't really work. Oh, but now you have to play knight takes. That way, if queen takes, your opponent does not have the ability to capture back with the knight, right? So after takes here, your opponent doesn't have the ability to capture with the knight. One person is attacking the center, the other person is attacking on the queen side. Where did we leave this game? Bishop f4, h6. Oh yeah, this, aha, I now remember this game. I was saying that it looks like a King's Indian. Anyways, knight jumps back. Classic move in these King's Indian defense positions. And he goes c5. Usually you have the choice between c5 and here. But I think the reason he's going here is because the knight isn't there to help in the defense. If you take Campasante, it helps black. So he's going for this queenside assault. Normally in the King's Indian defense, but this is a Catalan. I'm addressing like a King's Indian because that's the closest I can kind of relate it to. But normally in the King's Indian defense, white's attacking on the queen side, black is attacking on the king side. But here, they've kind of switched roles. Now e5 is a question. Again, I know this is wrong, but what does this do? I know this doesn't work, but what does this do? Nothing. Nada. Okay. Back to the girl section. Let me just look at Hephzibah's game. Okay. And where did we stop? Okay, so takes, knight jumps back, knight to f6, and finally she plays c4, so she's aware of it. Okay, c5, and then she plays d5. Yeah, that really puts a question to your opponent. I don't know. Takes. Still not looking good. You have to do something about this pawn. Because you can't just make any willy-nilly moves. You are dropping a pawn. You can't make any willy-nilly moves. To save this guy, you have to take here. My only issue with taking here, after takes here, it's fine. But I feel like this, or even castling kingside with this, could cause problems for. I mean, the good thing is that now that your opponent can really create an attack with the f pawn, but it looks pressure. Like it looks like there's a lot of pressure. She does take, and I'm gonna go for a short break. I'll be right back. Thank you guys for being around. If you're enjoying the stream, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Twitch, YouTube, wherever you are, I'll be happy if you could do any of those things. It really does help me out. So guys, I will be back in about like 3-5 minutes, and I will see you soon. Peace. And we are back with another cup of coffee. Hephzibah, how you doing? Okay, so let's see how this position is going, because we had queen takes. Oh, okay, so the opponent decides against weakening the pawn structure. Now, again, the theme of my my TED talk today has been focusing on obscure moves that create potential. Don't forget that. So the reason I like this again is because castles create this, right? Again, safety is also always a good thing. So going for the safety first move is fine. The second thing about the second good thing I think about queen takes is that now this is supported. So like your opponent is really going to struggle. The idea, if I recall, is that if for example you play let's just make a random move. If for example you play here, to kind of deal with this, your opponent is going to come in here with the bishop. So again, another random move. Another random move, you have this, and who's that? Someone called me. And after this, you could maybe takes, king takes, and then you can jump in with the queen. I'm trying to create a very funny line. I don't know if you get what I'm trying to show there, but yeah, that's basically what I'm talking about. We did get h5. Okay, so after queen takes, we did get h5. Yep, this whatchamacallit, this king is not going to castle anytime soon. Can she make a counter? How can she counter attack? You might want to play h5 here, but then again, the light square weaknesses are becoming too pronounced, right? Because h5, knight to g4. h5, knight to g4, sincerely, I don't know how you get out of that. You might want to keep this in case of the knight coming in there so that I can play this and then try and hold the position. But I think this is just I think that black is doing very well. Engine gives black minus 0.2 because the engine sees something that white is not seeing, and what the engine is seeing is the move b4, which I mean makes sense, right? Look at this, right? I remember I spoke about the fact that there's counter-attacking chances with the king in the center. Because the king is in the center, there's counter-attacking chances. So b4 is a move you have to play intuitively. Like, okay, I'm running out of things to do. My opponent is launching an attack on me. How do I turn the tide? b4 makes perfect sense. That way, if your opponent begins to get aggressive, you can really just deal with it. So you can take, or you can play check first, then you take. The position becomes very good for you. So h5, if she sees this, if my brother does an article on her saying that she's a genius, I have no problem with him. Yeah, so yeah, if she sees this, I think maybe when you look at everything, you realize that okay, b4 is the only thing you can play. Because h4, you play h4, I'm looking at the knight coming in here, I'm looking at g5. These are the kind of moves I'm looking at. It really weakens your position. Normally it's a move you want to play to stop these ideas, but it's really weakening the position. So when you look at everything and you're like, okay, I don't have any moves, then this comes in. So it's possible. It's possible. b4. Okay, what are you doing here?
My mom said I should see your friends.
My friends are not here.
I totally want to see your friends.
My friends are not here. They're in their house.
Why they in the house?
Why are they in the... Google. Give uncle some time, okay?
I still want to see your friends.
You want to see my... How can I see all my friends? Google, uncle is streaming. Why did Miriam tell you to... Why did your mom tell you to come here? Kuka, please go back. Oh gosh.
It's my genius.
Kuka. Kuka, mommy is calling you. Kuka, mommy is calling you. Kuka, bye bye. Oh, goodness gracious. Oh, boy. Okay. B4. B4. So what could be the move here? These kids. H5. 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 I'm sorry, she just disoriented me a bit. Okay, let's look at the other games here. Let's look at Toby's game. he wants this thing. Okay. So what's the move? Oh, Toby seems to have a good position as according to the engine. Now we look at the position itself. So when we looked here, I was saying that Toby has issues, but again, the same issue as with her opponent is simply the fact that there are problems with the king being stuck in the center. And is it a style? Like, is it a style from Botswana? Like, is that what Botswana chess players do? Like, they like to play these, you know, like I think Russian players are uber like principled, solid chess. But maybe the Botswana game is all king the center, attack as much as possible. So bishop to g7 is where we stopped. Knight to f3, and then we had g4. So I was saying, what could be the move here? Would you want to play here or here? And it seems okay. The opponent went for g4. Knight to d4. Toby uses the pressure, the attack to develop her piece. Now, I mean, if takes here, but maybe if takes, you want to take this way. You want to take d4. I can't really give a concrete reason why you'd want to go d4, but I'm looking at, for example, like using this e6, e4 pawn push, right? Going e4. That way you can create like a pass pawn with the d pawn, right? If I can just create a very funny scenario where it works, of course it doesn't work, but if I can create a funny scenario where it works, then here, if takes, then you get this pawn push. This is kind of like the thing I'm talking about. It doesn't work, but I'm looking at that kind of scenario. If it's possible, that would be very good. But if it's not possible, maybe you just want to play this move. Whoa, engine actually prefers c takes d4. Nice. Hey, when you are playing well, that's cool. So knight to d4. Her opponent takes, and I think here you play rook takes, not queen takes. Rook takes. Rook takes. Knight takes. Then the bishop runs away. The reason why I was also supporting rook takes, again, not this whole thing again, is this. The point of this is, remember that the bishop was preventing this idea from making any sense. So that now if takes, this idea makes more sense because of the absence of the bishop. Right? But with the bishop on this, but with the bishop still alive, you don't have that idea, right? Congratulations, your knight is on this square, but you don't have the idea. Knight to e7. Huh. Struggling to find ideas here. Can we sacrifice? No, we need pawn takes. Okay, pawn takes. Even if pawn take doesn't work, do we have like this? With getting the queen active is what I'm looking at. I'm looking at ways to activate the position. Engine doesn't like the move I'm recommending here. Says it's very bad because of h4. I was thinking this would actually create some pressure for our opponent. Doesn't seem to. Or then how about no, just here, f takes. The queen defends it. Yeah. So again, this move seems to be I mean, again, takes. I'm really trying to create something. I really want to find a way to address the king in the center. But okay, knight e7. Engine here says the best move is to play h takes g5. And if h takes g5, you take here with check, bishop takes. And then you go bishop to e2. That's what the engine is recommending. I mean, you could. I mean, it's possible to see this. I don't think it's impossible to see this, but your mind may be on other things here. But it makes perfect sense here. Actually, I think it's very straightforward, because if you don't play this move and let's say you play something else, right? H4. And your bishop is in like dire straits, because here, and I think the move is G5, G3, not G3. Either it says A5 first, but then ultimately the point is to go takes, and the king is still takes what? G takes H3, and then the point is to play knight to C6, which is I think here. But ultimately the engine is thinking that Toby is doing quite well. That's not what space, sorry. This is the actual move. Benson. Aha, yeah. So after this move, we have knight to G3, which is interesting. Knight has no hope here. Maybe she just wants to bring out the bishop or something. I don't know. This move is just strange. Knight beat. Oh, she did play this move, which was recommended, but it was in a different scenario. Knight E4, holding the pawn, and now you have certain weaknesses in your position. Not looking good for Benson. I don't even call her Benson. Why did I call her Benson? Not looking too good for Maud. Not looking too good for Maud. It's going to be very difficult for her to create a counter. That's the problem. She seemed to have the attack, then all of a sudden, this whole idea here with the pawn break kind of messed up. She started correctly, but what she had to see, which is, I mean, I don't know if you see this easily, is this. And I don't know if you'd want to play this, because you have, like, you know for a fact that you're putting yourself in danger here, because, like, rook here is a move you have to think about. Guess what the engine says here? King to D. Nah. Well, only Magnus Carlsen sees this. I don't know. We've looked at Toby. We haven't looked at Jijo. Let's look at Jijo's game. Again, I think none of them are castled. Hey! Hi. It's good to see you, Mr. David. Good to see you. A little bit sad that Chief is old. And Rabbit 10 is also not. No! Are we back? Are we back? We disconnected slightly. Are we back? Are we back? We disconnected. Okay, we are back. We are back. Sorry about the disconnection. It's expected. Okay. So wait, what did Hephzibah play here? Wait, before we go to her game. Oh, she played rook to D, F to D1. Huh. Again, like I said, this is not something you see easily. But what I was trying to say is that if you put 2 and 2 together with no moves here, you would play you would definitely play this move. But it's not so easy to see. But definitely, she is, I think, trying to create something against the center. So who knows? As she's thinking about the game, B4 might pop up in her mind. But now H4 is something you really have to be worried about. I don't know if this sacrifice works. But again, I'm just trying to make it work. But my idea is like this. Again, this is the bad move. But then this to slide in here and to slide in here is what I'm talking about. That's the idea I'm talking about. But if your opponent takes, I think you're losing, right? This is what I'm talking about. Should we have to be careful about that? So here does the counter attack work? Thinking about the exact same idea. Maybe here you take with check first. We play queen a4 check first. Then what's the move here? Knight d7. Then you play takes. It's still bad because after takes, this is the move you have to face again. Okay, this is not easy. So h4. I don't think you can ignore it. No, that doesn't work. I was looking briefly at, let's say, this takes because you want to try and get something here, but it still doesn't work. Like, it's so difficult. It's so difficult to get something that works here. Stabilize internet. Stabilize. Okay, now Gijo's game. We mentioned we're going to look at Gijo's game. And she's playing as black. Wait, no. What? She's playing as black, yeah. I see. Takes. Queen comes in. Obviously. G6, and now h4, h5 is an idea. But it doesn't work because of this bishop. And this queen combination on this square. Knight to b3. Okay. So, fine. Black is good, but how do we continue from here? How do we continue? I was looking at knight here. I don't know how good that is. But the point is to try and get some sort of activity, because like if takes, now we've created some space to go pawn push. That's like what I am looking at here. Just some ideas to really activate the position, bring our rooks in, a6 here, then continue. It may be slow because your opponent can still go h4, h5 and those kinds of things. What again? Queen c6. We have pressure here. So maybe on queen c6, bishop here. Is there anything we can do after bishop to f4? Bishop to f4, g5 is just getting mated, so no. If we go knight here, it's basically almost the exact same thing. The difference, oh, there's no difference. I was thinking that now maybe we have access to the back rank, but we don't. Bishop takes c5. And the same idea, I guess. How do you continue here? Engine says what, g6, knight b3. Engine here says the best move is to go knight to c6. Oh well. Oh well, backward knight move. I don't know who sees those. And back to the open section. Back to the open section. Let's see what's going on at the open section. You know, one of the Ghanaian players should try riding on the bike to the venue 11 minutes later, and let's see if the person wins. That would be so crazy. Why the emphasis on this side? Where did we leave this game the last time? Where did we leave this game the last time? I think it was after the king came in, right? I think it was after the king came in. Yeah, so king to h7, g4, then we had c5, e4, b5, e5, takes, queen takes, no, pawn takes, bishop takes. Looks like a ginger Indian. E takes f4, rook comes in, bishop goes back. Okay, he's defending this weakness. I was thinking you could just leave this here and come in here, but I could be wrong in my assessment. There's possibly something I'm not seeing about this position. Okay, so let's say our opponent trades off. What is there any square we are no longer defending that our opponent can take advantage of? It doesn't look like it, so it could have been possible, I'm guessing. But bishop to f8, I think the point is you don't want your queen tied down to the defensive pawn, so you play this kind of move so that your queen can freely maneuver to other sides of the board. Rook to a7. Rook to a7. What kind of overarching plan is going on here? Well, is there plans of like this here? I don't know. This is just rook to b1, bishop takes g. Whoa. Wait. Hasford is going crazy here. Unless of course this is a mistake on the engine. On the board. What is he seeing here? Let's try and figure out what Hasford is trying, because here it says it doesn't work, but let's try and figure out what Hasford is trying, because this is scary. Unless I'm suspecting maybe there's a mistake on the board. But okay, takes. Let's see. Pawn push. Takes pawn push. Bishop goes all the way back. Let's see. What is the continuation? There's no quick continuation. Well, what? Why would he play that? Bishop takes g4? What's the continuation? Like, I can't see it. After your opponent takes, what are you aiming for? I don't even think it's this. Trying to like it, I can't see it. I'm looking at. Or did he think the pawn was hanging? This doesn't make any sense. Why am I saying that he has to take the pawn off the board if he captures? Honestly, I don't know why he played that move. I don't get it. Could be a mistake on the DGT board. It could it could 100% be just a mistake on the DGT board. Let's look at Akwanda. Ankwanda. I see Akwanda. The N is silent. Okay, Akwanda has a nice position. He seems to have the special advantage going into the end game. Is the simple plan from Akwanda, knight here, knight here. I think here you put yourself in danger. So knight to g3. Knight here, takes. Do we have this? Could be that. It could be the knight move. g4 from the engine. Okay, going from the side. So g4, the point is to go g5. But let's say g4. If opponent pushes, what happens? C takes, F takes, C takes, E takes. Rook can't take, but now we have the idea of going like F5. And it's a game. C6. Oh boy. C6, what about this? Your opponent has to pick a place. Takes. Maybe you have this move. Or maybe you go all the way back. I think there's a lot to think about. Classic. Bernard and where did we stop at? Okay, after pawn push takes, he plays b6. Bishop goes back. I mean, you want to trade off knights here, so okay. This bishop is actually very bad, so maybe I don't know if you'd really want to trade it off, but yeah, it's very bad. Takes. You may not want to take immediately. Most often, you just maintain it, unless of course there's something you can do. Okay, but then takes. Would you want to go knight? Okay, maybe if knight here, the point is queen takes h3. I'm thinking at the point of this is such that if our opponent comes in this way, then we have this. But again, this is just far-fetched. I don't know how true this is. So let's say we don't take and we simply go this way, which looks funny. But the point is to stop the knight from coming in future lines. Takes. Then what does our opponent do here? Maybe nothing. Pawn smart. Guys are looking good here. We might get a couple of draws, but I don't. With how the games are going, I don't want to jinx it. But yeah, it seems we are doing very well. I think takes rook to d1. Not taking immediately, but taking and rook to d1. But maybe this allows your opponent to hide the queen somewhere. So I'm reading some comments over here. Lady section back to Hephzibah. Hmm? What is happening here? She captures this way. I think the point is that if, for example, the knight is to move, and then you come in here, you have the move h4. Possible. Queen to c3. I mean, that's the target, but then I don't know how you stop this. Right now, it's almost impossible to stop that whole idea. Your opponent can literally just ignore you and go this way. I don't see how you bounce back from that. Unless, of course, I'm wrong. I think that's about it for Hephzibah's game. Yeah, Queen h6, regardless, like, this is not a problem. The only undoing of black here is we keep disconnecting. I think someone else is doing something on the internet. Okay, not much has happened here. Let's just briefly look at Toby's game and then we'll take a slight break, a short break. Oh, did she did. Toby saw it. Yeah. Kudos. Bishop to e2. Yeah, Toby has taken over now. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Yeah. I think now you have like not bishop takes, says bishop f4. Huh? It says here. But takes is fine, isn't it? Or it isn't. Knight takes g3. What's the problem? Ah, the pawn. But that can't be the biggie. That can't be the real reason why. That can't just be the reason why. So here is bishop f4 to prevent the capture. And the next thing is you can just trade off here. Yeah, so Toby is back in it. She's definitely back in it. And the opponent's castling could actually cause problems for them. So yeah, this is okay. We are looking good. It may not be so obvious to see that, but maybe if you're looking at the fact that this is the only guy defending here, then maybe it's possible that you just go takes. Maybe. So taking a short break, I'll be back. Just stay right where you are. Okay, so we are back. I'm still disconnecting quite a bit, so I will be on, but if it continues and it's still like a very like persistent disconnection, then I'd have to end off there, because YouTube is just going to start creating like 17 different streams, and I don't like that kind of thing. So I will be on, but if it keeps disconnecting a lot, I'll just have to end up the stream. Don't worry, the recaps will be there. So thank you guys so much for being here. Let's continue. So great. I like what Toby did. She plays knight takes f5. She plays knight takes f5, and now you have to play this first. And oops, sorry. And now queen to d2, targeting the weakness here. Her opponent could try rook to c8, rook to d8 to try and hold it. But I think the issue with this, I was thinking it's this move. Engine isn't looking at it. It's looking at, again, this idea. But then what seems that now you are safe enough to castle here. And now, like we mentioned, this has become a problem. That's the thing about super aggressive players. Once you can weather the storm, normally when their moves come in, it's very swift and it's very dangerous. But if you can weather the storm, it usually becomes very easy to attack, to counter. So whenever I am attacking, I'm always thinking, how do they counter me? Right? That's why whenever I want to attack, you have to lock the center, make it difficult for your opponent to like push one idea. So that's cool. Toby might win her game. I think Jijo is winning hers, right? Not sure in her game. Yeah. No? Wasn't she winning at a point? Ah, she couldn't handle the heat. Wait, but after pawn push, why didn't she just go this way? Why doesn't... Why didn't she just do this? Because playing this at first was not desirable. But f4? Or like this would have just been straightforward. So check here. I don't even know where you want to put the king after this, because like both of these squares are causing problems for you. But let's say king here. I don't know, I feel like I'm playing this to help me with my plans. And I'm looking at like a queen move. Queen move, f4. You play f4, you actually allow the knight to come in. Do we have this subtle move? It's like knight takes, queen takes, pawn takes. Is there a slow move we can make? Oh yeah, the bishop is hanging. Okay, so we can't rush with that move. So here, if knight takes, queen takes, you have to play something with your bishop. Let's say the bishop comes in here. In that case, we can just play this move, right? Try and trade off the queens. Either queen takes or knight takes. Alright. Knight takes. I don't like knight takes because I don't know how to follow up. I know that after this, if our opponent takes, we are completely fine. I just know that we are completely fine. But with knight takes first, I don't know how we continue. Anyway, this is all superficial. This is not actually what happened. We went h4, f5. She did play f5. Takes, allows the check, blocks the check. And how do we continue from this specific position? Aha! Is it black's turn to move? No. White has to be very careful here. If white plays any move, you get hit with this. Like, for example, you play this rook here. Check. And obviously the king is going to move away. But then if you don't take it, this is a problem. Rook to e8 is always coming in, and it's a problem for the king. Okay. So it's not completely bad. I was just a little bit worried, but it's not completely bad. So on rook to f7, we're still waiting for white's response here. Engine's recommendation is a very funny move. I don't know if you see that as Hephzibah should have maybe almost been resigned by now. Because the move queen h. Okay, her opponent is being fancy. I'm just praying it bites her in the back. There's simple ways to win and there's complex ways to win. This is just you could go, for example, I don't think this works. Wait. Oh. I was thinking about something else. Yeah, my line doesn't work anymore. I was calculating with the rook on this square and thinking about some interesting ideas, but my line doesn't work anymore. Can play this, rook takes. No, this is just completely bad. How do we counter and win here? Ooh, okay, internet is still stable. That's good. Back to the middle section. Oh, okay. Is this winning? Queen takes f6 is the move that was played. Wait, he sacrificed the exchange. Takes. Can he win this? Are we looking at bishop here with takes coming in here? Still seems kind of slow. But it looks nice for white. I don't know how winning this position could be, but it looks nice for white. Angel doesn't like it, but again, you sacrifice an exchange, right? That is, you traded a rook, which is worth 5, for a knight, which is worth 2. So your opponent should be having like a knight, which is worth 3. So you should be having like a 2-point advantage. But here the engine is saying that it's equal. What that means is that it's a significant advantage for white, right? Even though it's supporting black, it's because it means there's compensation. Let me make it that simple. Saying queen to e6, that's here. But let's say queen to e6, do we just take the d4? Takes d4. If we trade off, I mean, I would trust trust Smart's endgame that he could get this. You're lagging again. Okay. Let's look at Bernard's game. We get e4. So we looked here. We looked at the takes moves. He declined the takes. Takes. Queen goes into e4 with check. If you play this, you've really weakened your position, and I think that's what Bernard wanted. Hasford's game is over. He lost. Knight jumps in. Knight takes. How do we continue here? Rook a8. e4. Should we just play f5? F5 to try and open things up. Because f5, if we get takes, we get this knight possibility. It may not be like a win, but we get this knight possibility. Eventually, maybe we can even slide over a queen to attempt great things. Or maybe even straightforward, like if bad random move here, but like takes. Sorry. If we get like takes, I think we can even just slide to the left. Ideas. Rook a2. Oh, okay, he goes for active play. Rook a2. So we go here. Is that his plan? Is his plan to double? Is his plan to double? There's no real like immediate consequence of this move. You can't really tell. I mean, here. I don't know. Akwanda. Oh, we did actually get this position. We spoke about this position a bit. Yeah, so we spoke about g4. Oh, he plays king up first. Then after the pawn comes in, trades, and then he gets this move. He hasn't played g4 yet. But we look at this position. That's the difference. And the difference between this position and the one we discussed is the fact that g4 was played, and then the king was here. And the king was on g1. Okay. You can instantly add pressure with this, but no, that's not what happened. We have c4, knight f4. I have this move. I don't know. Rook goes in, king comes up. Huh. Does this move signify that c4 is going to be played? I don't know how good that move is actually. Knight versus bishop, but the bishop is not so good. I don't know. I was thinking that you'd want to keep the king, maybe, I don't know, with the ideas of, like, for example, you want to go knight here with the ideas of rook coming into g3. It can prompt a pawn push, for example. So I don't know. Here, let me just follow what the engine says here. King to f7 with the ideas of this move, rook to g3. And apparently this is wrong because of bishop to h4. So I'm not seeing that. That's why. I really hate the way the board is lacking. Anyways, king to g3. Nah, this move has to be in support of c4. This move has to be in support of c4. c4 takes, rook takes instead of pawn takes. Mm. The move that's still in my head is to, for example, go knight to e6. Engine likes that. It's the two moves of the engine are knight to e6 and then h4. Those are the two moves that the engine is supporting. I personally like this because it's more active and it creates the ability for possibly the rook to come in here and cause problems. Funny enough, if the opponent does this, we don't have to take, do we? Or do we have to? Sorry. Is this bad? Because you can play rook takes rather. Okay. Okay, Hephzibah found bishop to g2. That's nice. Oh, I'm just waiting for the move. I'm really just waiting for the move. I'm really just waiting for one mistake, you know? Whoa. Eventually the queen comes in. Oh, Maud was too fixated on the pawn. How did the rook even get to a6? And why did it even get to... Oh, okay. Okay. Yep, Maud's game is off. Yeah, she's resigned. Yeah. That was the expected outcome. It's not over yet. If Toby can win, she's fine. I think Toby and Gigi are on their way and are in a good position, so they could win. What's left is Hephzibah's game. So if we get 2 wins, 2 wins is a draw. If Hephzibah is able to draw, highly unlikely. Yeah. So the most likely results here is that we draw. 2 wins, 2 losses. That's the most likely. That's the most likely result. I mean, this move. Are you not worried about like weakening your position? Don't we just have rook to d1, rook to h1 here? No, rook to h1 doesn't matter. I'm looking at e4. I don't know. I like e4 because it keeps this bishop blocked, but the problem for me with e4 is this, and I don't know like how white can make anything out of this position anymore. This way, e4. If pawn takes, we have queen. Queen doesn't take. Queen. Okay, let's just go queen takes. Queen takes. Queen takes. Rook takes, king takes. And what do we gain here? E takes, and then we can take here. 2 on 2. Okay, I think I get it. You are a pawn up in an end game. Bishops are equal. Maybe you can win this. I think that's what the point is. Oh ho 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 ho. The aggressor is now being aggressed. Knight d5. Let's go. Knight e4. Let's go. Engine wants knight d5. I want knight e4. Maybe knight e4 is not so good because you're allowing stuff. I think the point of knight d5 is to come in here. Oh, actually, yeah. Because if you do come in here and your opponent tries to shoot for air, you do have this move. In which case, if your opponent takes bishop first, you have takes here. And if rook takes, you have pawn takes. Again, this is not what the engine prefers, but again, these are some of the few things that scare chess players, right? Because now I have to think about my back rank. Okay, but this is the actual position. So that's why queen d5 makes sense. I'm just wondering, this takes, rook takes. I mean, is this also as deadly? Pawn push is not an asset here. Knight is also not an asset here. I mean, the king seems very suppressed. Mostly the responses I'm trying to figure out for white here. Like if I was white, what would I play here? And that's what I'm kind of struggling to figure out. Has she blundered yet? No. I know the blunder is coming. I know that Botswana is about to blunder here. I just know. I just know Botswana is about to blunder here. I just know within my knower that Botswana is about to blunder here. We are praying. We are praying for the blunder. Okay. Oh, so she played the move I was thinking about, which is this move to just simply target the pawn. And now you really allow me into your position, right? Because now if I take, you have to think about it. Because if I play, for example, rook here, you have to think about it. So for example, now if you go takes and I take, again, you have to think about this. Engine is recommending, for example, if this, then queen takes d5. Sorry, there's another move here. Let's just make a random move like this. The engine is recommending, I think you go this way. I think takes, you take with the rook. And you are targeting more weaknesses. Yeah, Toby's going to clean up this. No, it's not going to be difficult. Material is equal though. She's just up a pawn. You could get up 2 pawns. Once the rooks get traded off, this is just clearly winning. It might take a little bit of technique, but I think it's clearly winning. GJ2 is close to winning. I'm happy. I'm happy with these results. Yeah. Oh, she went here. But then the question is, what about here? I'm not so worried about a3. Not so worried about a3. How about if, for example, we even go here? Is this completely bad? Like if knight takes and then we take, come in here. Is this really bad? Ah, bishop to a2. Okay. There's still some stuff here. There's still some stuff here that I'm not seeing. Come on, show me the blunder. I'm believing strongly in the power of the blunder. I don't want to see what the blunder is, but I'm just believing in the power of the blunder. I believe in the power of the blunder. Yeah, so I was talking about this move coming in. And yeah. Okay, now this is going to be a very difficult thing to see. Let's look for something much, I think, more practical. King to h8, knight to e5. The moves that save here are too difficult. What's the most likely move I think she will play? Let's say pawn takes. Bishop takes. Bishop takes, queen, b5. These are bad moves because you're allowing this to come in. Bishop to d3. I'm coming. I just want to figure this out. The point for this kind of like trick is this. And oh, it blocks it. Ah, okay. I was trying to come in here. We have this. Doesn't work. Okay, I'm messing up the position here. But I'm thinking that's the most likely option. This move is quite difficult to figure out. F5. It's saying here play knight e5. Right? That's what I'm saying, right? No, it says first play d3. Bishop takes, then go knight here, attacking the bishop. I don't know if she sees that. That's why I'm looking for the most practical move in the position. I'll have to leave soon. I don't know if you can find that. That's crazy. Mod has lost. It's Hephzibah's move. Oh, her opponent didn't blunder. She saw the blunder, which is this, and she doesn't want to blunder it, so that's why she's playing this. I mean, now we can go knight f1. But knight f1, knight takes f1. Do we just play king? Can't really pick up now. Gigi hasn't made her move. Okay, Toby is closer. Gigi's position is now a little bit harder to win. The 93, I didn't see the reason behind it, but of course, she knows why she did that. But it allowed that c4 move, which is where the problem is coming from. Okay, I'm sorry. Just thinking of something else. Back to the main section. Wait, how did we get here? Okay, so we did get the c4 move, right? So after the rook came in there, we did get the c4 move. And after c4, we have b takes. Okay, rook takes. Yes, I get it. So like I was briefly looking at what about this takes, and I realized that allows this. And of course you come back, but I don't know how safe that move is. Because these pawns are free runners as compared to these pawns. And you could pawn push, pawn takes, pawn takes. Bishop has to move somewhere. Let's say for the sake of it here, because of ideas of rook coming in here. This way. Then what else? I don't know. But then we had rook e4. No, we had rook e4. Rook e4. You can take or go this way. I don't know, maybe I personally would prefer this. It could be losing, but I personally would prefer this because it deals with the two connected pawns. And at least if you are drawing, it's easier to deal with, I think, one pawn than to deal with the two. How do we continue from here? Do we simply go like back, aiming for pawn push? But back might allow this. No. Okay, we get rook f to e. And now you have to trade. But we still get a similar position because takes, and this exact same position we mentioned. But now the rook is not in that square we mentioned. Do we have this? No, runs this. But then we take here. So here, then we are expecting this. Pawn push. Any merit to that? Pawn takes. Bishop takes. Bishop takes. Check. Nah, there's no merit to this. There's no merit to this. There's no merit to this. There's no merit to it. But I think any move besides trading of the rooks would make white better. That's what I think. And here the engine is like, nah, you're wrong, bro. Because it says bishop to b4 makes perfect sense. Interesting. I'm here thinking that anything besides rook trade-off is bad, but the engine is like, nah, there's more than that. There's even bishop to h4 check. Interesting. What's happening here? Has Toby finally got a winning position? This is a little bit different than what happened in Gertrude's game. So B4, sorry, E4, sorry, where am I? E4 is not really a good idea. You could try and prep it, but I don't know how viable that is, right? Here takes here, but it still may not be viable, right? Let's just make this move and go this way. If takes, queen takes, rook takes, bishop takes, pawn takes. I don't know. This move. Then maybe you slowly develop your king forward. Let's see what the engine says. Okay, F3 is the last option of the engine. It's even gone lower than that. Queen C5 check is what it's recommending here. Queen C5 check. What's the relevance of Queen C5 check? Queen C5 check. All I see is king here. I don't know if that where we are going with this. Check. King comes in here. Rook D4. Okay, this is the only thing I can see, but there's nothing beyond this. Rook D8 attacking the queen. We just go back with check. I mean, it's not so obvious. All these lines are not so obvious. Yeah, I mean, there are simple ways, but let's see. It might actually end up in a draw at this point. 1, 2, 3, 5. It's still up one pawn. I just think this is a simple move. Does the engine like this? Yes, it's quite simple and quite fine. You can definitely play this move. Yeah, takes. I mean, that's fine. Gigi is running low on time. She chose to double up, which is also a good idea. So you see, you don't always have to play what the engine is suggesting. Top 3 moves of the engine did not make much sense to me, but this is just completely fine. I don't know if takes here is going to be an issue. Pawn push, definitely, I don't think it's a good move for you to play because you get hit with this. Okay, let me go for a quick break and I'll be back. Thank you guys for being around. Just a short break, I'll be back. Okay, I'm back again, but this time for a short while. Wait, what happened? Wait, I went back. Okay, so what happened? The queen comes in here. What's the deal here? Is it have to do with takes something along these lines? Is that what's the trick there? Ah, this. That could only be the thing I could see. So check, takes, king comes up. D3 is the move that comes straight into your head. As to whether it works, I don't know. Queen takes. And then we have queen f2 check. Your opponent has to defend with what? Defend here. Bishop to d2. Bishop takes d2. If knight takes, that's what you're looking for. Because then you have this move. Oh, knight b4 is actually the better option. Yeah, I think that's basically it. Bishop comes in here. Maybe, I don't know, this move is a little bit too slow. I'm looking at rook e2. But then I think it gives your opponent the chance to start trying to counterattack, I guess. Okay, maybe it doesn't work, but I don't know. Ah, actually, there's no continuation. Yeah, there's no continuation of checks. Yeah, every check is blocked. If you don't see it, you just have problems here. But I think now she's fine. What happened? Bishop to d2. Now she has to see takes. Takes is obvious. And again, takes is obvious. But then this is the move I thought was tricky. But again, it's completely fine. So takes, your opponent can take with the king. The king can't run away because the bishop is still there. You have to take with either the queen or with the rook or the knight. The point is after bishop takes, if queen takes, you still have this move, right? You still have this move. So there's no escaping this. This is completely fine. Let's see if Toby is also putting the nail in the coffin. Toby's game is going to take a while to convert, but I think she's fine. It doesn't feel that way. Like one of the reasons why I'm a little bit confident is because maybe I have the engine, but it doesn't really feel that straightforward. Give me a second. Looking for someone's name. Okay, we look at each other's game. Let's quickly look at Hephzibah's game. Wait, how did we get here? It didn't seem possible though. No, wait, how did we get here? How? Wait, what? Yes, queen went there. Then queen to e5. Takes, queen takes, threatening mate in one. Check, king comes in this way. You can't take that again. You have to go check again. And maybe you can draw. Who knows? Because the moment the king steps into this, you are taking charge. So I think she can draw this. Yeah, check. You block here, I come in here again. The moment you step here, you're losing your queen. The moment you step here, you're losing your queen. I think she just messed up. I think Botswana messed up. And that was the mess up I was hoping for. Okay, so let's say here. Check here. You come in here. Okay, let's say you come in here. Can we continue checking you? Check. Again, you don't want to step on the D file. Check. You come in here. Yeah, this is a draw. This should be drawn. I'm not even turning on the engine. I think this is a draw. How do you fix this? Again, the moment you step here, you don't have to think. Like the moment you step here, it's off. It's off the table. I was hoping for this, and it's happened. I think this is a draw now. Says mate in 6. For who? Oh, wait. Whoa. Check. Ah, yes, I missed that. Yes. True. I missed that. Check here. Ah, I missed that. Yeah, true. I missed that. I missed this fact. Oh, I was hoping for something, but I didn't get it. Oh, I missed it. Was there a way we could have done something? Queen takes. Check here. King comes in this way. Yeah, that was even worse. Oh, I'm so sad. Ah, I got too overexcited. Yeah, I forgot that the king can just come this way. Yeah, I forgot. Unfortunate. Oh, I got too excited. I really wanted it to come back. Takes, check here. King comes up. It's over. Ah, I was hoping for something. Ah, I really got excited. I was hoping for something there. Wait, mod lost? Nah, that's not possible. Ah, yeah. Oh, yeah, true. My mind. I know mod lost. I was thinking about Jijo's game. I was like, how does Jijo lose this? Okay. So Toby wins because of, sorry, let's say we take these guys off. These are 2 pass pawns. Queen can take here. Huh. Can she? No, queen can't. Queen is targeting this guy. Queen takes, you just run into this. Let's go to Jijo. She got bishop takes. Yeah, there's nothing about it. There's nothing to it. Again, all the check-in squares are dealt with. You can't continue from here. And now you have to deal with the ramifications of the position. Just back here, and you now have to lose your queen. Because, yeah. Queen takes d2 rook, and that's about it. The position just ends there. You can't continue fighting. Hopefully, they won't continue fighting. Let's look at these games. If Team Ghana is watching, guys, you're doing well. Thank you guys so much for watching as well. Smart lost. Hasford lost. Who did I think had position? Okay. Knight jumps in there. I think you take with the king. Inching towards a draw. When it comes to end games, I really struggle to see the potentials. But yeah. I hope we do not disconnect. Yeah. If you can get this move, I think you'd be very happy. So I think pawn takes is something to consider. Because if you don't play pawn takes and you play something else, or bishop to c5. Okay, yeah, even bishop to c5, I'm looking at this kind of idea. Right, king to e7. It may not be winning, but it looks scary. I think it looks scary. I'm not. King moves, let's say here. You can't really play pawn push. Okay, so okay, we have check first. That loses this. Okay, so yeah, my moves are just crazy. Let's look at Bernard's game. Nice, this is a crazy game. F5 had the potential to be played a long time ago. It hasn't. But the guys haven't really had a good time so far. Did they win the last round? Yeah, I think we won the last round. I don't remember. Back to the female section. Still no response. Did we disconnect? Okay. If your opponent tries, I don't know, this, I think the move is to simply come back. I think that's it. Oh, knight b4 check. That's, yeah, I'm missing even the simplest moves. So I think we get a tie game. Gijo and Toby win. And then I stress like a strange person, right? Gijo and Toby win, and then yeah, more than then this thing don't do so well. I mean, not. I might have to take a break tomorrow, cause I'm really out of energy. And even Sunday is like my busiest day, so I'll take Sunday off, and I will continue on Monday. I just need to get some rest because I don't think I've slept 4 hours in the. A second. Okay, the queen c4 check we mentioned. Don't come into the center. You give your opponent ways to check you. Actually, even if you come here, your opponent can't really do much to check you. So all you need to do is to find this move. Wait, here knight takes d2, same, right? Knight d4 check. Okay, that's a little bit confusing. Okay, but here there are quite some options. Takes check, king to b3. Oh, and king to b3, just get hit with this. You may not even have to checkmate, you just get hit with this. I think that's... no, the queen's under attack. Yeah, but yeah, I think you're okay with it, right? Because if here king moves, let's say somewhere, takes, you're okay with this. Right? This guy is hanging, this guy is hanging. You take this guy, I take this guy. And this is a pass pawn. I think either ways you're fine. We don't get the quick checkmate, but there's still life for white, but I think it's not that bright of a light. She goes towards the center. Okay, that's completely fine. Now you get hit with this, in which case you have to trade off queens. Knight takes, and then how do we continue here? Yeah, this actually gives a lot of life to the position again, but I think it's 3 versus 4, right? Yeah, that should be fine. Okay, guys, I have to end it here. I've got about like 5-7 phone calls right now, but we'll continue on Monday. Tomorrow I'll take a break, Sincerely, my energy is down. I've checked throughout the various streams. My energy just keeps going down and down and down. And yeah, I'll just take a break tomorrow. Then we'll continue on Monday. We'll do the recap for Sunday's games, and then we'll continue on Monday. Can't wait for the rest day. I feel like I'm the one playing, and I have to go for a rest day. Hey, Berto. Hey, I see you before I end off the stream for the day. Ghana is doing okay. The females are at least doing well. Guys are yet to start performing. I mean, they've started winning and so on and so forth. Hey, what's up, Gary? What's up? Or Ethan. I think Ethan is cool. But what's up, guys? What's up, guys? Why is everybody now chatting when I have to drop out? Anyways, if you want to continue watching me, don't worry. I'll be streaming on Monday. I won't stream tomorrow. Tomorrow is my busiest day, but I'll be streaming on Monday. My day is good, Gary. My day is good. I'm just getting a little bit tired. So sorry, guys. I have to end. If you haven't liked the stream, if you haven't commented, yeah. No, the males I think are 1, and then the girls are the I have to remember. We lost round 1, round 2. Round 3, we won 2 games. So I think we are yeah, the males are 1 out of 3, and the females are 1.5, I think. I mean, I think total result is equal. I think it's 1-1. I think total result is equal. But in terms of wins during the game or results during the game, the girls have done better. I just can't remember. I can't remember right now as I'm sitting here. I'm quite tired. So don't worry, we'll continue. I'll start putting the scores on the screen so that it makes more sense. Okay, so guys, thank you so much for being around. I always appreciate your presence here. If you're enjoying this content, please like, please comment on the video, subscribe, every crazy YouTube and Twitch stuff. And I'll see you on Monday. I won't be around tomorrow, but I'll see you on Monday. Have a great one. Peace.